Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Of all the poorly animated, poorly written, and just downright poor animated shows that came out of the 1980s, this was one of them. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show. This is probably one of the strangest cartoon shows that ever came out of our generation, and considering what we grew up with, that's saying a lot. At the time, Super Mario Bros. Was everywhere, scoring it big with 2 hit games on the original NES. So the appropriately named Dick Entertainment thought, hey, we can profit from this too. Let's make a show about these world-famous games and see if we can come up with something truly ridiculous and embarrassing. They did. And boy, was it not only stupid, it was weird, weird, weird. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a show based off of 2 Italian plumbers in a land of mushrooms who spit fire from flowers and spend most of their times kicking turtle shells possibly be strange? Well, it is. Mostly because when you get down to it, Mario Brothers had no story. It's just your basic hero rescues princess from dragon scenario, nothing else. So how can you possibly center an entire animated series around that? The short answer is, they don't. The long answer? Well, let's take a look.
Hey, paisanos! It's the Super Mario Bros. Super Show!
Well, at least they have the original video game music. I mean, it's not like they tried to modernize it with like some retarded rap or something.
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game.
You know, I gotta learn to keep my fucking mouth shut. So the show actually starts off with a live action portion with Danny Wells as Luigi and professional wrestler Captain Lou Albano as Mario. Okay, that's kinda cool. They would often get incredible guest stars on, like Dracula, Inspector Gadget, and even Elvis. Wow, they managed to get Elvis. They mostly sat around telling lame jokes, hoping the kids don't know how to comprehend humor yet.
You must be Mario. You must be Luigi. You must be kidding. This place is a dump.
And if you think that piece of horrible puked up writing is bad, wait till you see the cartoon! The animated portion stars your essential characters, Mario, Luigi, Princess Toadstool, and Toad. You know, the little bastard who always said our princess is in another castle. I wonder if he's as annoying in the show as he is in the game.
Hey, Papa! Did anyone ever tell you were ugly?
Nope. He's far more annoying. I mean, they really couldn't find another voice for this guy? It sounds like Jay Leno's mentally deficient cousin.
Hey, man! I'm the fantastic fungus!
What a shitload of shroom. Give them some credit, though. They actually did get a woman to do the princess's voice, instead of, you know, whoever the hell they got to do in the games. Why is it I always see like a fat, middle-aged, balding man doing that voice? It's just so creepy. While we're on the subject, is it me, or does Luigi sound an awful lot like George Carlin on this show?
I know I'm gonna regret this. Okay. Miserable manicotti.
Now say the 7 words you can't say on TV.
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat.
And then of course there's Bowser, who they always call King Koopa for some reason. I never got that. Why don't they just call him Bowser? Or even the artist formerly known as Bowser? Just something, I'm used to calling him Bowser. So anyway, you're probably wondering, what's the story of the show? Boy, is that the $1 million question. I say that because the story keeps changing. It's never the same scenario. Sometimes they're in the jungle, sometimes they're in the future, sometimes they're in space. The fact is, they didn't have any original ideas of their own, so they just decided to rip off everybody else. So you get really lame titles like Toad Warrior, Star Koopa, and Raiders of the Lost Mushroom. Ha! And in every episode, Koopa would be different. In one, he's a punk leader, and another, he's a robot, and this one, I don't know what the hell he is. Vibrator, maybe? I don't know. All these characters are totally flat and have no personality, but trust me when I say that's not the worst part. Like, let's talk about the setting. In the game, everything takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom. Here, good God, I can't even tell you how ridiculous these settings are. They live in idiotic worlds like Spyland, or Jungle Land, or Roboland, or even stinking Car Land. They have a Car Land! You can't just add the word land to something and expect it to be a fully developed 3-dimensional world. Like, hey, I got an idea, let's all go to Potland! And after that, maybe we can spend time in Table Tennis Land. Or how about we drop by that British guy who always seems to be in everything but you never really take the time to figure out what his name is land. It doesn't work! So, okay, there's nothing wrong with a little satire as long as it's written well, but I actually think they went out of their way to make sure this was written badly. This humor is so lame it predates half the dinosaurs they're fighting in this show. I mean, listen to some of this dialogue.
Holy macaroni.
May the pasta be with you.
Not on your
lasagna-loving life. So long, spaghetti suckers. I'm gonna make linguine out of you.
Try it, meatball. Calamitous calamari.
Pasta jokes! Nothing but fucking pasta jokes! Why? Because they're Italian? Yeah, that's not stereotypical at all.
Speaking of pasta, where's that lunch you promised?
Hey, because we're Italian, all we know about is lasagna and comedically large mustaches. And meatball. So if pasta puns isn't your cup of ragu, don't worry, there's plenty of other stuff that doesn't make sense. Like the animation. This stuff makes Hanna-Barbera look like Hayao Miyazaki. I mean, the original video games have better animation than this. Half the time it doesn't even add up. Like, look at this scene where they throw a bomb at this guy. He's so afraid that he actually jumps off with the bomb. Why? Was he a kamikaze Koopa? I mean, it makes no sense. Here's another great scene. See if you can spot the flaw here.
How much longer until my Birdo Ray destroys the Space Mushrooms planet?
16 minutes and count.
What? You said 16 minutes literally as the clock is showing 4 minutes and 25 seconds. What the hell? Are they even trying? But here's my favorite. They come across a character called Indiana Joe. Get it? They remove the N and the S and it becomes a totally different name. Genius satire. So he comes in with the hat and the whip and everything, but look, they forgot to animate his face. How cheap are these bastards? They couldn't even animate facial features? And they never explain why. You're just supposed to accept the fact that he looks like that. No questions asked. How hard can it be to put a face on a person? Anyone can do it. I can do it. Watch. Give me a face, you fucking bungholes! But wait, it gets even more chaotic. Just watch a few of these scenes and see if you can make a lick of sense out of them.
That was more fun than getting flushed down a sewer.
Okay, I don't want to know what you do Friday nights. Why was the snake shooting bullets?
Come on, princess.
Is he flying a garbage can?
We don't have anything he wants.
Yes, we do. A tanker full of spaghetti sauce.
I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. Why does he want a tanker of spaghetti sauce? Why would anyone want a tanker of spaghetti sauce? It's spaghetti. It's not a valuable resource. That's it. I'm done. I can't take it. This show makes no sense. Show me something else. I don't care. Just anything. Anything that has nothing to do with this. Except that. Except that. Ah, yes, I almost forgot. Every Friday, the Super Show would replace the Mario cartoon with a Legend of Zelda cartoon. And even though it wasn't as bad as the Mario stuff, it was still pretty damn wretched. I mean, you watch the opening, it looks cool, it looks big and epic, until...
Nice job, hero!
Hey, excuse me, princess.
Really? Excuse me, princess, that's the best 80s sitcom catchphrase that you could come up with? Well, if we're gonna go this route, why not exploit the shit out of it? I mean, there's plenty of other phrases you could have used, like, "What you talking about, Zelda?" Or maybe a more obscure, "To the moon, your highness!" Or how about the always classic, always endearing, "I know my princess honey pants!" I mean, just if you want to make it more subtle. For all its problems, Zelda does at least have a grounded story. Zelda and Link are guarding the Triforce of Wisdom while the evil wizard Ganon is constantly trying to steal it from them, trying to combine it with the Triforce of Power. Whoever gets both Triforces will rule the kingdom of Hyrule forever. Now this is an adventure I can get behind. Exciting stories, gripping action, and tough, nail-biting dilemmas that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Like...
The crew building my father's water park was attacked by monsters. You got any ideas?
Who gave out my Nintendo games? Who? It's funny because with Mario, you never knew what to expect. With Zelda, you always knew what you were gonna get. For example, Link always tries to get to first base with Zelda.
Ta-da! Kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me.
Jesus, he's more horny than Pepe Le Pew.
Whether I'm awake or asleep, you're the girl of my dreams.
That's the sappiest line I've ever heard.
That's nothing. Wait till you hear my pasta-related humor. Ganon always sits and plots like Skeletor's drunken mother-in-law.
You want those pieces of the Triforce? Sweet. Why works?
Okay, what's up with the teleporting?
Link and Zelda.
Is that really necessary?
I'll have Link
Why?
and the Triforce. I'll rule the
What is the point?
And when they
Knock it off! Does he have ATD, attention teleportation disorder? And of course, Link always says,
Excuse me, princess.
why? Because Zelda and Link are always bickering.
I was sleepwalking.
Sleepwalking. Stop sitting down on the job.
Thanks, heaps.
I guess you'll have to do.
Why me?
Will you stop doing that?
Now what?
Good boy.
When did this turn to the mad about you of fantasies?
Ugh, you're all dirty.
Aw, come on, princess.
The Adventures of Zelda! Action, adventure, swords, and flame, and trying to figure out who left the toilet seat up the other night.
Well, I have to admit, I like the fact that Zelda is an active character, not just some pretty damsel waiting to be rescued. I think she's actually more mannish than Link is. I mean, look at this. She's always saving the day, always planning the strategies, and even pushing her loved ones out of the way so she can focus on her work. Back off, lady! We totally own that! I also like the fact that she actually does have a king for a father, so she's not just taking the princess trademark because it sounds pretty.
Perfectly natural for him to defend it, eh?
Whoa, what the hell is the king on? Look at his eyes, listen to his voice. I think I know why they call this land Hyrule, because it's always ruled by a high king!
Well, excuse me, princess.
It's interesting because Link is often considered one of the key and essential video game fantasy heroes. But here he's a wisecracking jackass, kind of like a medieval Wheeler from Captain Planet.
I'm some sort of cut-rate superhero. You called for a hero, princess? What's that supposed to mean? Well, excuse me, princess.
I'm just gonna keep saying this till somebody makes a t-shirt out of it. So most of the time they just go to Ganon's fortress at Castle Grayskull, where they try to steal his Triforce away, while Ganon often goes to their castle to try to steal their Triforce away.
2 zaps! One more in your history, Ganon.
I know, I read it in the instruction book! Speaking of which, wasn't there originally 3 Triforces? I mean, that's why it's called the Triforce, right? Because there's 3 of them. They come together as one. So where's the other one if it's not here? Is it lost in the mystical, enchanted realms of East Orange, New Jersey? Or maybe in the outer regions of fantasy and reality known as Disney's Magic Kingdom? Or maybe it's in Potland, I don't know, I guess it doesn't matter. I gotta say though, the Triforce itself is kind of strange. It can actually talk and predict the future, in rhyme no less.
To find your father, royal daughter, you must search beneath the water.
It's like one of those triangles you find in the Magic 8 Balls.
Ganon's got Link's Chris sword now. How can we stop him?
Oh, dude, the Triforce is not a balloon. Show some respect.
Well, excuse me, princess.
And you shut the hell up, you metrosexual wannabe. I think if I had to pick one of my favorite episodes, one of them would have to be the water park adventure. Because it makes no sense. You have all these demons and creatures that you could be fighting, and what's the biggest problem?
My royal water park should be completed soon.
Bullshit! I especially like the scene where the animators forgot to animate the creature's claws in this scene. Look, you can even see where they're supposed to be. Oh yeah, we're the best animators in town! Just don't ask us to draw creature claws or faces. We're not good at either of those. We keep forgetting to put them in. Look at this. The bubbles aren't even moving in the background. Do you think they just stopped to watch the show? So, in the end, what was causing all that ruckus in the water park?
Afraid our water park was hooked into the fairy water supply, and the fairy king here got worried.
Oh, what a misunderstanding. I'm so glad this mediocre and unimpressive problem was resolved. Next week, they're gonna find out why Link's piggyback course has a squeak in it. I think the other episode I like is the one where Link's soul is removed from his body. So he has to tell Zelda how to defend herself and use his weapons, which of course makes no sense. She's the one who's doing all the work to begin with. Why does she suddenly need instruction?
You swing that sword like a girl.
You know, the whole role reversal gag doesn't really work if you already reversed the roles to begin with.
Well, excuse me, princess.
So even with his soul removed from his body and on the brink of eternal slumber, do you think that gets any respect from our highness?
Say, I wonder why you're the only one that can see me.
Just my bad luck, I guess.
You know what? Why? Why do you hate me so much? Is defending all of humanity just not good enough for you, you royal piece of cock tease? I want to split you in half with my laser sword, you no-good sack of bitch! Fuck you!
Well, excuse me, princess.
Or you could just go with that. Either way, the cartoon blows. Especially because the Zelda games have gotten a big reputation recently, becoming kinda like the Lord of the Rings of video games. So people really seem to take it seriously and really hate this cartoon in particular. And who could blame them? Everything about this show is half-assed, cheesy, and just downright lazy. Not that we expected exactly high art, but we did in fact expect something. and instead got one hell of a silly, thoroughly unenjoyable series. Hell, just watching someone play the games is actually more exciting than watching this fully animated bullcrap. Now, to be fair, I do think this show was probably intended for much younger kids in mind, but that's no excuse. Just because something is intended for younger kids doesn't give you the right not to try. If you're really good at something, you can make anything entertaining and anything plausible, no matter how absurd. I'm the Nostalgia Critic. Now, if you'll excuse me, my never-ending search for Potland continues.